Oh, wow. You guys are back. Well, welcome back to another thing that I'm talking about because it annoys me. We love these videos here, at least I think you guys do, because you're back. Before we get into it, this next segment just, it goes out to the real fans, the ones who have been following my nail saga. As you can see here, I got my nails done, but on this hand, we have quite the adventure. So, all that's left on this one now is just the thumb. Now, first, I slammed my hand into a door, so I lost these two. And then the pinky went next. I was biting my nail without thinking, and then I ripped off the nail, and I was like, oh yeah, that's not my regular nail. Whoops! And then there was this one that the tip of it came off, and then I tried to pry it off. It did not want to pry. So we're down to just the thumb and the other hand. That's totally fine and perfect. So anyway, if you guys don't know me, my name is Side Effects May Include, or Stina, whatever you prefer to call me. I'm fine with whatever. Today's video is about something really weird. I know I started this lightheartedly, but this is not a super lighthearted story. But I'm gonna do my best to make it not extremely weird. So today's creator it's just terrible. I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. Just a terrible person in pretty much all aspects, in my opinion, and I'm gonna assume in yours because I think very highly of you guys. At least when it comes to common sense. I would hope that the people who are drawn to me and the things I ramble about are fluent in common sense. Now, normally, when a person has a pet, a little fur baby, they take care of it in like a nice maternal manner, like a parent-child dynamic. You know, I do that to my cats. I baby talk to my cats all the time. They hate it. I have a great time. But then you have freaks that come in spouting insanity to their audience. This creator, with almost 3,000 subs, decided to make a coming out video. They begin this video by speaking on the struggles of the LGBTQ community before completely derailing and crashing the train into oblivion, to be honest. And what I mean by that, of course, is they come out as being into dogs, which is just like, no. And to compare that to being gay is insane. So insane, in fact, at first I assumed this was a hate troll, just looking for a reaction. But the world is full of insane people. And as I listened further, I lost confidence in whether this was a play or not. So I'm gonna let you guys be the judge of that. I'm just gonna be showing it to you, I suppose.
You all know me as Sappho, and I wanted to make a video about coming out. Coming out with anything can be very difficult, especially if it's something that society currently views with disgust or is a bit dangerous to even come out with the way that things are right now. And it's a lot like when homosexuals were coming out in the 1960s during Stonewall and those sorts of events. And I know that 99% of my viewers, my community, you don't have anything wrong with homosexuals or gay people. You support them, you support LGBT, nothing against them. But I guarantee that many of you, even if you can't imagine it now, if you were growing up in the 1960s and were being fed all of the news and social propaganda about how gay people should stay in the closet, how it's unnatural and against nature, and all sorts of crazy shit like that, a lot
99% of your community have nothing against being gay because they're probably normal. I feel like most people have no problems with being gay. Whatever the heck happens in your bedroom is what's going on in there. Like, you could slam it home with a guy, a girl, a they, pretty much anything but a squirrel or a dog or a child. Just keep that stuff, keep the disgusting, depraved stuff in jail.
A few would probably be anti-gay, anti-LGBT, and that's just how it is. And I respect you all, and frankly, this sort of thing would have leaked out eventually, especially with how cancel culture is these days and other furry drama. There would be people out there that, they want to have a gotcha moment. They want to build their fame and popularity and, expose people. And I'm just not going to give the opportunity for a Sappho exposed kind of video. And I would rather suck the air out of the sails of the rantsonas, and instead of letting this sort of thing build, just be open and honest about myself and my beliefs. And I want to clear the air and say that, for the record, I am a zoophile. You did not mishear that. I am a zoophile. I do not have a thing for humans. I am more attracted to dogs, like German shepherds. If you are willing to stay and listen to my view and explanation, that is the point of this video. It is to show that there are ethical guidelines. It's not so black and white like many furries think that it is, and a full explanation as to the way that I think and the way that others think and why. Zoophilia is often very misunderstood, especially because of certain very terrible people and what you may have seen in the news. And someone that I will not mention, if you remember that situation with the zoo sadism leaks a few years back. Unfortunately, when people think of zoophiles, especially furries, that's the person that comes to mind, and that is the situation that comes to mind. And I'm talking about horrible abuses. And I'm not accusing a certain individual of anything here, but those leaks showed some truly horrendous people doing awful things to puppies, dead animals, animal gore, and other atrocities.
See, the difference here is if I want to eat a girl's ass, I can say, hey, is this okay? And she'd say, yes, bitch, slam it home. And then we go to town. But, like, a dog can't consent. What the fuck is wrong with you, man? Like, I'm so tired of these idiots, as well as the MAPS community, like, trying to butt into the gay community. They're completely separate things in one group of them being insane. And if you didn't know who the MAPS are, I've made a video on them before. It was kind of just like a ranty video, but it pretty much just means minor attracted person. So in short, like pedos. Both of those communities don't need consent, which is why they are alike. And it's why they have nothing to do with people being gay, because those are two consenting adults. I know you guys know this because I know this. I'm just reiterating this fact because there's some people that don't apparently know this, and that to me is insane. Anyway, let's see how the dog lover justifies their sick behavior.
Couldn't imagine somebody doing that sort of shit to my animals, my mate, I can't imagine who would harm another living being in those ways. And to be 100% clear, I am not like that. Most of the zoo community is also not like that and utterly despises it. People who force animals into situations they don't want, physically and through other means, are completely deplorable and seen as rapists. Playing with an animal that is not sexually mature is like the equivalent of pedophilia, and it's treated as such. I do not support those people, and they do not deserve the same title. They are fetishists and bestialists. I do not want them to be the face of the community, and they should not be the face of the community. It's like literal Nazis considering themselves furries in a fandom. You don't want them. We don't want them. We don't want that image to be what people think about. Ethical zoos are not like that. Zoophiles are among the most caring and loving people towards animals and their mates. We see animals as equals to humans, not as property or an object like in the eyes of the law and others. Specifically, I and other ethical zoos follow what's called Zeta principles, Zeta being the Greek symbol, but also standing for zoophiles' engagement for tolerance and acceptance. So if you see that symbol on a furry, that's probably what they're referring to, or they're an ally towards that kind of cause. And those principles are: bestow upon animals the same kindness one would wish bestowed upon oneself, consider the well-being of an animal companion as important as one's own, place the animal's will and well-being ahead of one's desires for sexual gratification. Teach those who seek knowledge about zoophilia and bestiality without promoting it. Discourage the practice of bestiality in the presence of fetish seekers. censor sexual exploitation of animals for the purpose of financial gain, and censor those who practice and promote animal sexual abuse. Zoophiles are not the same as bestialists and fetishists who do not follow those principles.
I feel so bad for the furry community as well, because they get roped into this when they are also not the same. Which is probably why so many uneducated people are scared of furries. There was a time where I had no idea what they were about either. I spent a lot of time in the cosplay community, and there's some overlap between furries and cosplay community, so I kind of learned more about them. Furries are not people who want to have sex with dogs or any other animal. They want to have sex with people and pretend to be animals, role-playing. But they're people, they're consenting people. And for some of them, it's not even a sexual thing. Some of them really just like doing role plays, being in the fursuits, being in the community. It really depends on where they fall in the spectrum, I suppose. This creator has a golden retriever on their YouTube profile. What's sad is this person is clearly mentally ill and has all these rules to justify their behavior. Though, you know, they can have as many rules as they want, but their behavior is still terrible in pretty much every way.
Hypothetically speaking, I would see my partner or my mate as an equal to myself. Everything would be out of love, care, and affection for their wellness and well-being. It would not be to serve myself and my desires. And a lot of people have issues with this sort of thing, which is understandable. I can understand the point of view that others have about my views. The biggest argument, of course, that comes up is about consent and what is that like, right? And they want to compare like apples to oranges. They want to compare a grown, adult, sexually mature animal to like a toddler, basically, comparing apples to oranges. And in my opinion, it's a bad faith argument. I don't think you can compare a sexually mature animal to a not sexually mature human. I think it's bad faith. But back to that hypothetical, and my view on it is that if my mate came up to me, loved me, and wanted something more in that moment, why would I deny them that need? I want to care for their well-being and help them feel good. At the same time, if the animal is uncomfortable or walks away, that's a no. That's a do not continue. That's a I do not consent. I have a really close zoo friend that can explain more in a non-hypothetical way in the second half of this video. And this friend has a female German Shepherd mate and considers her to be the love of his life. And why am I like this? Well, we can speculate on that.
At the end of the day, they're talking about their dog being their mate and how it's fine to mess around with animals as long as they are sexually mature and consent, which they can't consent and it's not okay. It doesn't matter how old the dog is. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? In the comments, they claim to be speaking to a psychiatrist about their issues, but people like this should never be allowed near pets at any point. They could abuse their dog. Like, you wouldn't let a pedo adopt a kid and have the kid running around their house, so why is this any different? So pretty much the point of this is abusers are trash. I don't like them. Keep this person away from any animal. They're gross, especially since their response to the hate they're receiving is to promote zoophilia, saying it's normal, which just annoys me. Like, if you're seeking help for this, why are you also saying it's okay? Trash. So yeah, it could be a total hate troll, especially because this creator is anonymous. They do the whole VR thing. But yeah, that's what's been going on that side of the internet. I'm glad I'm over here on the rational side of the internet with you guys, enjoying a beer. Anyway, guys, if you like my content, be sure to leave me that like, throw me that sub, and join our community. Numbing that pain with constant killer content. I appreciate all the new viewers that I've been getting lately. I think that's awesome. And I'll see you next time.